Garner. I work for Communities Unlimited, but I'm the chair of the SERA47 group, local and regional foods. Today we have a very special guest. My friend and colleague, Miss Brenda Williams, is the Healthy Foods Coordinator for Communities Unlimited. Brenda is responsible for managing the Food Link program, a value chain initiative focused on increasing access and availability of healthy foods for residents of food deserts in the Memphis Mid-South region. The initiative also includes outreach to minority and small-scale farmers and entrepreneurs to encourage their participation in local food production. She also coordinated the Farm to Food Pantry program, which purchased food from small grower farmers through a grant from the Mary Reynolds Babcock Foundation and donated it to local food pantries. Previously, Brenda was the manager of graduate programs for the University of Memphis Fogelman College of Business of Economics. Brenda received her BS from Arkansas State University in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and her Master of Business Administration degree from Webster University in St. Louis, Missouri. Brenda lives in Olive Branch, Mississippi, and I'm about to share the presentation for Brenda, but just a little caveat before we get started. We are working on some technical difficulties at the end of this presentation. There's a short video clip, so we will stop the pause and then switch, so we will be able to hopefully see that video. So let me go ahead and share this, and then Brenda, you can take it away and just tell me when you need me to advance your slides. So let me share that screen. I'll see. Y'all seeing that?
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you
good.
so much for the opportunity today to talk about healthy foods. I am Brenda Williams. I'm the Healthy Foods Coordinator. And today we're going to have a conversation about Communities Unlimited Healthy Food Initiative. Next slide. Communities Unlimited resides in the solution space. We are providing a holistic approach to community economic development. Our team of dedicated professionals work side by side with local leaders to create fair access to resources needed to sustain healthy communities, healthy businesses, and healthy families. Next slide. Communities Unlimited is a nonprofit, and we have a footprint in 7 states, and that's from Alabama to Texas. Next slide. What is your favorite fruit? What I would like for you to do in the chat box is just state your favorite fruit. I am originally from a small town in the Arkansas Delta, Blytheville, Arkansas. My mother had 8 children and we lived in poverty. I really didn't know it was poverty until I got to college and realized, oh, okay, we were a low-income family. And so with having 8 children, sometimes the challenge is, how do I prepare healthy meals on the table on a daily basis? So when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of fruits that we had access to. But I do remember growing up in the summertime, and we were the type of children where we would play all day outside, and we had to be in when the street lights came on. But literally, we were playing outside with neighborhood kids. So I remember in the summertime, we would have sometimes on a long summer day, it would be what we call the watermelon man. So basically, it was a farmer that had loaded up watermelons in his pickup truck. And so he would ride throughout the community, blowing his horn and saying, watermelons, watermelons. And we would get so excited and we would rush inside to get an adult to tell them that the watermelon man was here, and they would pay for the watermelon. And when selecting the watermelon, there was a technique, because one of the things you didn't want to do, you didn't want to get unsweet watermelon. So there was a way of looking at the stripes of the watermelon to see if they were a certain way in order to select the best watermelon. And then also it was a process of thumping the watermelon. And apparently by doing that, you would be able to find the best selection. And so literally there outside on the front porch, they would slice up the watermelon, and whomever was there would have a slice of watermelon from the local grower, and we would be eating watermelon on the front porch. And so that is definitely my experience of buying from a local grower, and also a childhood memory that I cherish. And it's my favorite fruit. Next slide. As I stated, I'm from Arkansas, and when it comes to food insecurity, it's really personal to me. It's personal because Arkansas is the most food insecure state in the country. We have a rate of 16.6, and that is above the national average. So it's really a concern for me on how to address food insecurity and what that looks like. And I know each community is different. So it's a passion that I have, and the dedication, because I really want to see how Communities Unlimited, being in this footprint, how we can make a difference, how we can move the needle. Next slide. This journey, or my journey, started about 8 years ago. Communities Unlimited was one of 10 organizations that was funded by USDA to be part of what they called at that time Food Link. And so basically it was 10 organizations throughout the United States. And our goal was to focus on being a value chain coordinator. So when you look at a value chain coordinator, it embraces 3 critical roles: to be a connector, to be a convener, and also to be a wealth building advocate, as well as an innovator. It's about encouraging partners to try new things. Next slide. A main portion of the primary responsibilities for a value chain coordinator is providing technical assistance. It's working with small scale growers, connecting them to opportunities such as a farm to food pantry, such as an interest in a small rural community that doesn't have a grocery store and they want to start up a farmer's market, and how to find a local grower, because it's a market opportunity for that small scale growers. Most of the growers that we are engaged with, they are small scale growers. They have maybe annual sales of about 25,000. And so a goal of ours is to determine on how we can build generational wealth, how we can build farm capacity, and what that looks like regarding procuring new funding opportunities, as well as identifying a new market. Next slide. Some of the programs that have been extremely successful in the Healthy Foods Initiative has been what I stated, the farmers markets. We also have pop-up markets that we've had. We might get an inquiry, a community, and they're interested in doing a farmers market. And what I suggest for them to do is start up with a pop-up market. It's really simple. You recruit a small scale grower in your community. You determine a date and time. You get out a flyer, and the grower brings the fresh produce, and you see how it goes for the pop-up. And if that goes well, then you continue another day, and then you do that to determine if you want to have a permanent farmers market. When I'm working with growers as an advocate for the small scale growers, it's about how we can build farm capacity and how they can have a successful day at the farmers market. The worst thing for a grower is to harvest fresh produce and then have to bring it back at the end of the day. That's not a good day. So it's really about finding a market that's a win for the grower as well as a win for the community regarding increasing access to local and fresh fruit. Next slide. Another program that we have started is the Produce RX, and it's about addressing the food insecurity along with working with a primary care physician in rural communities and other partners. We did a pilot project. It's called, or it was called, the Boonville Bucks. Basically, we connected with a rural care provider, uh, and we started in Boonville, Arkansas. It was about 60 months, and we worked with another partner, Vouchers for Veggies. So we provided this community with fresh produce. They had a produce cart. They would take the produce cart and go to Walmart and purchase the fresh produce. And it was an amazing program. Next slide. And what we learned from the Produce RX program is what is essential is that you have to have local produce. And so with that program, we were really fortunate to work with Vouchers for Veggies. It's a nonprofit that's out of California, and it was the first time that they had partnered with an organization in Arkansas. So we were nervous about it, but it went off without a hitch regarding the produce cards and uploading the amount of produce. And we start normally with the produce cards. They're normally $40 a month. But working with the local community partner, she shared with me that we needed to do $80. So we did $80 a month, and we have 50 people enrolled with the program, and it was very successful. I still get calls from that community partner regarding, do we have additional funding to start it again? It was an amazing program. And again, it's so important to have a champion, a local champion that's committed and dedicated to the program. With this program, we were really determined that we were going to not just give out produce, but also provide nutrition education. We worked with a school health nurse, and so she would provide recipes. She also would call them or text them just to find out how they were doing. So we wanted to have more touch points instead of just giving out fresh produce. And then at the end of the program, we did another assessment. And so it was a really great program. I think it's an amazing opportunity to help move the needle regarding making a change in the behavior. There were so many amazing stories. There was a family that talked about how before the program they would bypass the fruits and vegetables because it was too expensive. But now, because they had the produce cards, they were buying fresh produce. Again, I would say when it comes to addressing food insecurity or increasing access to healthy foods, the produce prescription is an amazing program. Next slide. Another program that I would like to talk about is the Delta Regional Food Business Center. This is a new initiative that is funded by USDA. The USDA has funded 12 regional food business center. Communities Unlimited is one of the partners for the Delta Regional Food Business Center. And the focus is working on projects in order to build the local and regional food systems. It is about connecting farmers to new markets. It's about inspiring change across the supply chain. Next slide. The program has 3 pillars. It's about coordinating efforts to expand the market opportunities for the small scale growers. It's providing them technical assistance. For instance, I got a call from a small scale grower that's interested in connecting with the REAP program that's part of USDA regarding solar panels. And I'm going to be reaching back out to her to have a conversation. A lot of times with our small scale growers, they have never submitted an application for the federal government. And as you all probably know on this call, sometimes those federal government applications or grant applications are a heavy lift. And so this program would hopefully be able to provide them some technical assistance or some hand-holding regarding that application program. Next slide. And the last project that I would like to talk about that started back in 2020 when the pandemic had just hit. And I was working with small scale growers and they were sharing with me their concerns regarding they had already put seed in the ground and they didn't have a market because the schools were closed, the restaurants were closed. And so I reached out to our CEO Inez and share with her the concern, and she was able to secure $200,000 in funding. And so we'll start the video that shares more about this amazing project.
So bear with us. I'm going to go ahead and start the video, but then stop the share because I got to switch over. So let me do that. All right. Are y'all seeing a video?
Yes,
Okay. You are, right?
but it's not playing yet.
Okay. I just started.
There it is. Okay.
Communities Unlimited is a nonprofit that works with small-scale growers, mostly growers from Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi. And so we're engaged with about 52 growers. And I am Brenda Williams, and I'm in charge of overseeing the local Healthy Foods Initiative. COVID-19 hit, and we recognized that growers did not have a place for their produce. They were expecting a harvest, and they didn't have a place because the restaurants were closed, the schools were closed, and the colleges and the universities were closed. So we knew that they needed a place to sell their local produce.
When I retired from becoming an educator, I was a principal, and I said, well, now is the time I can move into my dream. This is what I wanted to do. And knowing that I'm providing food. We grow without chemicals and pesticides. We have quality produce for people. With all our food now in full production, ready to harvest, what am I going to do with all the produce? This is going to be a waste.
During the beginning of this COVID season, I watched farmers turning under tomatoes and food being wasted. Communities Unlimited stepped up to the plate to do something about that.
We recognized that the farmers were in trouble and Communities Unlimited was in a position to help through a grant from the Mary Reynolds Babcock Foundation. With the funding from the foundation, we were able to purchase the produce from the farmers and donate it to the food pantries.
Being able to provide these families that have lost their jobs, they've lost their income, they've lost their direction in life, we're able to fulfill those needs so that nobody goes hungry.
This has been a dream come true. Buying the produce would help us stay afloat. We would not lose financially, and we wouldn't lose our produce. So it was a win-win situation.
We were able to see that this produce, local and fresh produce that was harvested on a Monday and delivered on a Tuesday to communities that were in need.
80,000 pounds. We've never been able to get produce in that amount ever. So this is unprecedented. Our goal, our desire, and our direction is to feed the hungry, period.
People that
needed the fresh local produce. People that were laid off, they didn't have a job, people that because of health conditions were not able to go to the grocery stores and they were concerned about COVID-19, they were able to get local and fresh produce.
It's been a really help to us, my sister and I. It's hard to get to the grocery store because we're afraid to get out. It's very much a godsend.
Communities Unlimited really did help us out of a hole. Locker's Produce and other small farmers would not have been able to been as effective if it wasn't for Communities Unlimited.
This has been the most successful program that I've been a part of, and it really feels really good to know that I had some impact to so many families.
We are honored and humbled by what Communities Unlimited has been able to do for us through this tragic season. Without your investment at Communities Unlimited, we could not ever have dreamed of doing what we've done so far this year.
Thank you, Brenda. We appreciate it so much. And now, question and answer time. So if you have any questions for Brenda, now's the time. And if not, I'll come up with some questions.
So I have several questions, Brenda.
Okay.
This is Peggy Wright from Virginia. The first one, what was the name of that partner you had in California? And who were the 12 partners in that Delta Regional Center?
Okay, and what I can do, Peggy, if you would, the name of the partner for the Vouchers for Veggies, and that's Vouchers for Veggies, that's the nonprofit. And in reference to the partner for the Delta Regional Food Business Center, I can send you information, and there are 12 centers throughout the United States. And so I can send you information about the 12 because it's a different center depending on where you live in.
Okay, thank you.
Hey Brenda, this is Kimberly Deladano from Georgia Organics, and I'm also interested in your work with the Delta Regional Food Business Center. We have a project that's somewhat similar, so I think it'd be interesting to learn from them. Is there a place online where I can look into it deeper, or can I connect with you to get more information about it?
Yes, you can easily connect with me. I can put my email in the chat and we can schedule a time to have a conversation. And what I can do, I can find out where you're located, what center works with your area.
Okay. Well, we're in Georgia. Our office is in Atlanta, but we have a project where we're looking, it's called the Family Farm Share, and we're trying to work with small scale farmers, cohorts of small scale farmers, to help them increase capacity to grow while we build demand among early care communities. So parents of children 0 to 5, specifically in Head Start centers. So we are doing, things like pop-up markets and nutrition education with the kids and with the parents, and looking to, help the farmers scale up as we build that demand to create, sustainable community support for small scale farmers.
Okay. Wow.
We do that in like Southeast. Yeah. So we're doing that in Southeast Georgia, down in Ware County and some surrounding counties, as well as in West Georgia in Carrollton and Carroll County.
Okay, well, I just put my email in the chat, and because I have such a deep passion, you probably want to schedule about 45 minutes because we're going to be talking a long time regarding the successes and some of the challenges. Yay, I have a partner in Georgia. So yes, please reach out to me, and so I can find a convenient time just to share my experiences. Yeah, I'm so excited. But yeah, we can connect, and I can share with you some of the community partners, some of the programs that have been quick wins for us, and some of the ones that have been a challenge. But yeah, I'm so excited. Just reach out to me and let me know a convenient time to schedule a Zoom for a conversation.
Great. I'm doing it right now. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Brenda. This is Janice Hall. I am with Auburn University, so I'm in Alabama.
Okay.
And we have a CDC grant, a HOP grant. I'm not sure if you're familiar with High Obesity Program.
Okay.
Okay, so one part of that is our produce prescription program. This is new for our outreach, and I was wanting to hear a little bit more about your produce prescription and how it might be funded, because that's where we are now, is trying to identify those, I guess, organizations that could possibly fund the voucher program so that we can get it to the people that are in need of it. So can you kind of give me a little bit more information on your produce prescription program?
Yes, so with the produce prescription program, there are, I would say, the easiest way would probably be reach out to a local or regional foundation. The produce prescription, someone might say they're costly. I know that GusNIP, which is the federal funding, they have long-term funding. When I say long-term, I'm talking about 3 or 5 years that they fund on an annual basis. I know they had a deadline in May, but again, it's an annual cycle. We received initial funding to begin or pilot the project from Share Our Strength. As you know, with foundations, their priorities change. And so once we concluded the program, they stated that they had other initiatives that they were working on. But I would definitely say for you to start with a local regional foundation and begin that process. And also with Share Our Strength, they have the produce prescription toolkit. They have the resources out there. And then so the main hurdle is getting the funding. Getting the funding and getting the local champion that's dedicated, that's committed, that really wants to help move the needle. In reference to this program, we had additional funding to work in Mississippi, and we had some challenges there, but we have some funding left over. And I was so excited when we started with the school health nurse. I would share with her, we need to clone you. She was just so amazing regarding the recruitment, regarding the commitment. And when you have a produce prescription program, you need commitment from the facilitator or the coordinator that's local, and you need a commitment from the doctor regarding that they are so committed to working with the participants enrolled in the program. Those are essential in order for your program to be successful. I would say the money is the easiest part, but it's finding the right committed community and local champions in order for your program to be successful.
Did you only utilize physicians? Did you use social workers or any other
Nurse practitioner.
nurse practitioners in the schools or just in the doctor's offices?
So the way we connected with Boonville Bucks, we had a nurse that was a school health nurse. And it was the first time that we had a partner from the school. So we had the nurse. And so she was recruiting in Boonville, she was recruiting staff members, whether it's a teacher, or I think there was, it could have been a child, one of the students, or it could have been, I know there was one of the coaches there. And then it was a nurse practitioner.
Okay. You're good. Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Okay, if there's not, I do want to say that Communities Unlimited's footprint is from Alabama and Tennessee across over to Texas and Oklahoma, but we love collaboration. We love exchanging ideas. So don't let a state border stop you from reaching out to us. I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the chat as well. And John, if you and Grace can put yours as well. If you're interested in Sarah, further information about SERA47 and collaborating with us, let us know. We're not just for extension, we also work with nonprofits as well. So if you would just reach out to John and Grace, and we can get you more information on that. We do plan to have more of these tea and coffee hours, and we realize that it might be a little late in the day for tea and coffee, but I drink coffee all the time. So we just want to thank you all for coming on today, and be sure to reach out to Brenda for any more questions. And we thank y'all so much for coming today.
Hey, Russ.
Uh-huh.
Before everybody leaves, can I share? It just occurred to me, so many people here are from the southern region. Georgia Organics is working with a bunch of partners in the region to host a regional food systems conference.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be on February 4th through 6th. And I wondered if I share the call for proposal with you, could you share it with the group?
Absolutely. John and Grace have control over the listserv there are several listservs that are connected to local and regional foods, and they would be glad to. That's exactly what SERA47 is all about, is sharing, collaboration. And although we are based in the South, we do reach into Maryland and other areas as well.
Okay, great. I will. Do I have your email address, Russ? Or who should I send it to?
Send it to John or Grace.
Yeah,
John or Grace. Okay.
Yeah, we just put it in the chat, Kimberly.
Excellent. I will do that. Thanks so much.
John pointed out that that they can add anyone to the listserv, and then members can post out to share items and events and that sort of thing. All right. Any other comments or questions? All right. Thank you. Look forward to the information, Kimberly. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us.
Bye.